Tensions between North and South Korea are close to a breaking point as Pyongyang today announced for the first time that it would withdraw all workers from a joint industrial plant it operates with South Korea. Joining me today to discuss this is Alastair Gale, Bureau Chief in Korea, Seoul, Korea for the Wall Street Journal and Dow Jones Newswires. Alastair, thanks so much for joining. It's been a busy week or a few weeks for you. Look, this is the first time, as you said to me earlier, that North Korea has actually taken action. So far, this has been a war of words between the North and the South. And by North Korea actually removing workers from this plant, it sends a very strong signal. Tell me more about that and tell me more about this plant and the significance of it.
That's right, Mariko. We've had for a few weeks now a kind of a war of words, as you say, lots of very colourful language from the North, but really analysts don't see too much significance in that in terms of real action. But what we saw today, or what the North Koreans have said today, is that they are actually going to take some action in the form of removing, pulling out these 53,000 workers from the Kaesong industrial complex. Now, this is significant because it's the last symbol of cooperation between the North and the South. It was set up in 2000 originally as part of a summit meeting between the South Korean President Kim Dae-jung and the North Korean leader Kim Jong-il. And it's worked, the plant has been operational continuously since it opened in 2004, even during periods where we had major escalations in tensions here, with the North attacking the South twice in 2010. So for the North to actually pull out of this plant, that tells us that things are pretty serious. Now, the caveat to all of this is that the North has said it will temporarily pull the staff out and it will consider whether to close the plant permanently. What it's looking for here is the South to make some kind of concession to the North, to say either, we're sorry that we offended you. The reason that the North is upset about all of this is that the South, the people in the South, including government officials and the media, have said that the North only keeps this open because of the money it provides the regime in Pyongyang. So the North is looking for some kind of step down by the South to say, either we're sorry or some other concession, and then maybe that means that the North Korean staff, go back into the plant and we're as you were. But at the moment, it looks very serious.
Alastair, have we heard any kind of reaction yet from Seoul to this move? And give me a sense of, you said there were a ton of people in Kaesong from North Korea who actually work at this plant. What's the proportion between North Koreans and South Koreans?
Well, there are 53,000 in this plant, and that's about 1 in every 6 of the people that live in the town of Kaesong, which is North Korea's third largest city. So it's a major employer there. So for all of these people suddenly to be out of work, that is very significant. We don't know what they've been told. The message that's been given to the South is that this is open-ended, but perhaps what the North Korean workers have been told is something different. We don't know. But the impact on the town there would be very large. On the South, it's more of a symbolic thing. There are 123 companies that operate there. It's up to the South to come up with a solution to it. So there's a pretty big impact on the North. The organization that is the South Korean businesses, their management organization, is having a meeting at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's going to have a press conference at 11 a.m. So we'll hear from them about what they plan to do. Government ministers will be meeting this evening, I'm sure, to discuss the situation. The unification minister, who's the guy in charge of relations with North Korea, has been in parliamentary testimony over the last few hours. So he hasn't had an official response, but apparently he has been told, and he's disappointed by this.
Now, Alastair, can you give me an idea of what kinds of things are made at this plant? I mean, would it disrupt the global supply chain of any particular company, or are the things they make so small and so domestic that it wouldn't disrupt anyone globally?
No, it's not going to have a global impact, and frankly, it's not really going to have much of an impact on the South Korean economy. The companies that operate there, they make household goods, pots and pans, knives and forks, aprons and things like that. So this is fairly low, skilled work. There's about 123 companies that operate there. We were talking to some of them today and in recent days, and they do say that this is a very valuable source of good labor. The North Koreans are very diligent workers, they're very skilled, and of course the labor costs there are very low. So this is a big headache for these South Korean companies, but frankly it's not going to have a major impact on the economy here. It's more symbolic for the South, and of course it raises the concerns of how far North Korea is going to take their recent bout of escalation of threats and whatever, whether they will take any more physical action, and that's a big concern.
Right, exactly. Well, we will keep a close eye on this story. Thanks so much for joining us, Alastair. Alastair Gale, Bureau Chief in the Seoul Bureau of the Wall Street Journal / Dow Jones Newswires. For more on this and further updates, please go to WSJ.com. For Asia Today, I'm Mariko Sanchanta.